I now invite Ms. Anne-Marie Schwirtlich to deliver the occasional address. Anne-Marie is the Chief Executive Officer and State Librarian at the State Library of Victoria. She has held this position since 2003. Prior to her appointment, she has held a range of senior positions in the National Archives, the National Library of Australia, and at the Australian War Memorial. She has also taught at the University of Canberra and at the University of New South Wales. Anne-Marie has been active in national and international professional associations, including the Australian Society of Archivists, the Australian Council of Archives, and the International Council on Archives. She has represented the library and archives industry on government committees and has published widely. Anne-Marie chaired the Council of Australian State Libraries between July 2004 and December 2006. She's represented libraries on the Collections Council of Australia, was a member and deputy chair of the Australian Government's Cultural Gifts Program, and is a member of the Australian Government's National Cultural Heritage Committee. Please welcome Ms. Anne-Marie Schwirtlich.
Chancellor, may I begin with a confession? If it causes the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor to ask me to leave the stage, I hope that one of you can come up here and take over with a short speech or a skit. My confession is that I did not attend either of my graduation ceremonies. It was part rebellion and part an antipathy to ceremony. I was wrong. Decades of experience, I was wrong. So today, I'm making up for all of that and enjoying your graduation ceremony enormously. It is my suspicion that if we could bottle the pride, the elation, the relief, and the goodwill that abounds in this hall in honour of your achievements, we would have an intoxicating potion. I hope that you can feel it, and that over the years you will remember, savour and appreciate it, and the support that you have received from family, friends, peers, and from faculty and staff at Victoria University. In my family, education was prized. My mother was one of 4 girls who grew up in India. She and her older sister abandoned their university studies when my grandfather died, as they had to find work to help support the family. It seared in her the determination that education was to be a priority for her children. My father grew up kilometres and cultures away on a farm in the Sudetenland. He was the youngest son in a family of 11, and it was clear that the family farm would never support him. So as a young teenager, he joined the Bata Shoe Company, and he travelled to India to help establish the company's manufacturing and retail base over there. In 1939, when Hitler overran the Sudetenland, as my father was a German speaker from the Sudetenland, but was in a Commonwealth country, he was interned for 6 years until the war ended. He said that although he was penniless at the end of the war, he emerged fitter than he had ever been because of the physical labour they did, and better educated because, with the assistance of others, he taught himself to read and to speak fluent Hindi, Urdu and Sanskrit. With this briefest of descriptions, it will not surprise you that in our house we grew up with the saying, if you think education is expensive, just try and grasp the cost of ignorance. In our family, learning and education represented some of the most valuable gifts in life. Learning and education gave us all a choice about what we do with our talents, with our energies, with our lives. And so it is with all of you. They equip us with a structured, rational and disciplined way of looking at our society and building the knowledge base to tackle the issues that we face in our society. They teach us about worlds we have not encountered and help us to face them with understanding and tolerance. And through things like literature, art, music and performance, they help us get into the hearts, the minds and the experiences of the other, to move us and to challenge us. Our world faces many challenges, from maintaining and building our civil society, strengthening our literacy, numeracy and education, fighting poverty, applying what we have learned about the importance of fitness and preventative health, expanding the sustainability of our agricultural practices, building new forms of energy. We need informed, willing, energetic, challenging minds to tackle these and many other issues at a community, at a regional, at a state and at a national level. So in short, we need you and we need your fellow graduates on the job. Whether you embarked on your course of study to test and stretch yourself, to earn the right to practice, to equip yourself to contribute in an area that you are passionate about, you now have many more choices. You have the resilience and you have the skills to continue learning for the rest of your life. I think everyone who faces you today on this stage says, we hope that you seize those gifts and you nurture them. It is a privilege for me to share today with you. Congratulations on all of your achievements and for all of those that are sure to follow. Congratulations.
I don't know about the confession. In my business as a judge, I'm fairly much concerned with confessions, most of which are significantly more incriminating than that one. However, I would say that having heard Anne-Marie, I think she's in the wrong job. We really have needed her in education policy in this country for a very long time, because it is precisely those kinds of insights which I suspect have not always been appreciated by our policy makers and administrators generally. Any true community which wants to aspire for its own members and to be a genuinely democratic society must embrace education at every level and afford as much opportunity as it possibly can. Perhaps the most powerful thing that Anne-Marie said to you this afternoon is that if we as a community are concerned about the cost of education, consider the cost of ignorance. Thank you very much.